What you see on your screen today is a Casablanca Four Seasons in polished copper. This ceiling fan has the shorter blades on it, making it 38 inches in diameter. And it's in alright shape overall. It runs really well, however, the switch housing is bent. It's tilting to one side, meaning the shaft is probably bent a little bit. Not really sure if you can see it, but it is out of whack. So at some point I'm going to need to try and bend that back. Also, the switch cap has a lot of scratches on it. It honestly looks like a bunch of cats really went to town on this thing. I don't know how that happened, but however, the sideband and faceplates the copper on them is still in pretty good shape. And the blade brackets are still in pretty good shape as well. And I added on this tassel pull chain myself. Also, something else worth noting is that the tag, as you can clearly see, it is quite a lot higher on this switch housing than most others. Because usually it'd be, like around this part, be relative height to this potentiometer and the pull chain, but on this one it's higher for some reason, so that's a little interesting. According to this was made May of 1981, even though it has the newer style switch housing that they started using in 1982. Yes, so even though it does have some cosmetic wear, the fan does run really well. The Slumber Quiet works and the bearings are practically silent. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and ignite power and start the fan off on minimum speed on the SQ. Yes, so as you're probably all aware, polished copper is one of the original 9 Casablanca finishes. However, it is one of the less common of the original 9 Casablanca finishes. You don't see it too much. You do still see it every once in a while, but not nearly as often as, finishes like antique white, antique brass, and polished brass. But there are certainly finishes that are more rare than this, like antique copper and brushed pewter, for instance. We'll turn it up a little bit. And as far as I am aware, in terms of what I have seen, even though polished copper is certainly a rare finish for the Four Seasons, it is the most common of the rare finishes for the Four Seasons, meaning that of the original 9 finishes, antique white, antique brass, and polished brass, those of course are the top 3 most common finishes for the Four Seasons, and then polished copper would probably take 4th place. It's still pretty rare, but it's definitely the most common out of the 6 rarer colors of the original 9 finishes offered by Casablanca. As I've seen, I think, 6 or 7 of these so far. And then as for all the other colors, I'll turn it up some more real quick. Anyway, so as for the other colors, I have seen 2 or 3 Four Seasons in brushed pewter. I have seen 2 Four Seasons in charcoal black. I think only 1 in traditional brown that isn't even traditional brown anymore. If you know, you know. I've seen, I think, 1 in chrome, and I'm yet to see a Four Seasons in antique copper. So yeah, there is a lot of elusive colors for the Four Seasons for sure. And that's just my personal experience, because those of you watching, you could have certainly had experiences different than me. Maybe you've seen more of certain finishes than I have, or less, or who knows what. Anyways, we'll turn it up some more. And it does have an ever so slight motor hum, which sometimes Slumber Quiet fans have. But again, it's not that big of a deal, as you can barely hear it. And again, it is a variable speed system, and variable speed systems are inherently noisy. Of course, the objective with Slumber Quiet was to eradicate that motor noise, but they did, accomplish that about 95%. And yes, no bearing noise, which is amazing, considering that Casablanca bearings usually aren't the best when it comes to being quiet, / staying quiet. And it's putting off a really good breeze. And we're almost at full speed there. It's already going pretty fast, though. Of course, with the little blades, this thing does move really fast. You can see the tassel already blowing around in the wind the fan is creating. And then full speed. And there you go. This is a 38-inch Casablanca Four Seasons in polished copper.